stiffer rod, but it has a soft tip, so I call it a medium fast action.
I see bad things happening right now.
Yeah. Oh, right on.
Mini jig, what color? Oh, El Diablo.
Yep.
Nice.
Back to the double drop shot. Damn.
Oh, wait. Shit.
Oh shit.
Can't tell where my line is.
Bringing my line in.
All right, I think I'm clear.
Dave, I want to bring your shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, dude.
Yeah.
Ain't that big.
I think everybody's running. No!
The moment the fish is like, screw this, I'm going for them.
Yeah.
The Spartan or the Devil?
Yeah, he's just real spry. So what? Yeah. 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 The trout coach is out there yelling at everybody. You gave a quarter of the intensity that Rudy brings in practice.
We all American.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the jump. Oh, he's right, heading right to me.
Yeah, he's close. Oh, damn. Ooh.
Got that one on camera. Got that one on camera.
He's joining the circus over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful colors on it, too.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it. Whoa.
And it's so rare when they get that size of the jump like that.
Double.
Oh.
It's just running.
Mm-hmm. Which one did he hit, Ty? Oh.
Big boy.
No good.
Holy Jack in the Box.
All right, ladies and gents, just want to take a quick break from the video to show you what's going on out there. As you can see, we're catching fish on mini jigs and double drop shot. But the double drop shot seems to be edging out the mini jigs as far as what the trout are keying on at this time. So I'll start with the rod I use to throw mini jigs. This is a ultralight 7'6" Katana K4. It's a stiffer rod, but it has a soft tip, so I call it a medium fast action. I have it paired with a Shimano Stella, and for line I use the Phoenix Iron Feather braid. Like I've said in earlier videos, currently the Iron Feather is not available. We're looking for another replacement. And we are searching high and low. If I find something, I will certainly get it back to you. But another replacement, if you want to try mini jigging, is the Line 2-pound in smoke color. The smoke just seems to be a little bit stronger than your conventional 2 pounds. It's a monofilament, but it's very inexpensive. And if you want to try mini jigging out, just get yourself an ultralight rod, 1000 series reel, and throw some of that 2-pound smoke on there, and you can give it a shot. Only word of warning is it is 2-pound line, so if you hook into something significant, make sure your drag is set appropriately, or you're gonna break off. But typically when I fish mini jigs, either at Santa Ana River Lakes or anywhere else, I'll fish 30 seconds and 16th. I have a 16th head on a Spartan minnow. With the 16ths, I basically the big difference is I don't let it sink usually. I don't wait for the 30 seconds. I'll throw it out, give it a few seconds to sink, and then start my retrieve. With the 16ths, I typically, as soon as it hits the water, I start my retrieve. But the retrieve is just the same, just real light bounces and extremely slow reel cranks. And the idea behind that, at least in my head, the 16th is obviously heavier. It's going to fall faster, so I don't want to give it time just to float down like I would the 32nd. The 32nd's so light, you have to give it time to get it down into the strike zone, because if you start working it back too early, you may be working it above the fish, and the fish may not be as likely to bite it. Now on to drop shot. The rod I use out there for drop shot is another ultralight rod. It's 7'6". This is a Katana K5. I have it paired with a Daiwa Presso 1000. And again, I have it spooled with 4-pound Phoenix iron feather braid. And both my rods, I use a fluorocarbon leader. I usually use the Runkle Power Fluoro in 5-pound, or the Seagar and VizX in 4-pound. And neither one, doesn't matter which one you use. It comes down to availability to me. Both lines work great. And I just attach them with a double uni knot. And I usually use about a 5 to 6 foot leader. And that's usually plenty, because the fluorocarbon doesn't have a lot of stretch, but it has a little bit of stretch. And what that does is kind of act as a shock absorber when I'm hooking up these fish. As the trout have very soft mouths, you don't want to be yanking straight braid back, because you're probably just going to pull that hook right out of their mouth. All right, now let's go to the bench, and I'll show you how the rigs are set up and some of the baits that are working real well. All right, guys, here's some of the baits that are working and the rigs that I'm using. This is the double drop shot. If you don't know how to tie it, I'll put a link right up here to a how to fish the double drop shot video, and I go into detail on exactly how to tie them. It's really not that hard, and it's a very, very effective rig, especially in murky water. But what I'm using on this rig, I got two number 8 mosquito hooks. Some of the other guys on the team like to use the size 10, which is a hair smaller. I just have a lot of luck with the 8, and sometimes I do use the 10, but really it comes down to personal preference and what you feel comfortable with, and what hook size catches you the most fish. The bait that seems to be the hottest right now is the El Diablo Spartan minnow. That's what they seem to be hitting the most consistently. So I'll show you how I hook these on here. The basic anatomy of the minnow, you can see it's got little eyeballs here. And then on the back, it's got these bumps, or the flat part. I like to refer to that as the spine. And then the bottom part, where it's a little rounded, looks to me like the fish's belly. So I like the hook to come out the back, or the spine. So what I'll do is I'll take my hook, and I'll start at the uppermost portion of the minnow, push it in, and push it just so it's going around the bend of the hook. Excuse me. And then I'll carefully push that hook through, so it's right in the center of the spine, and push the minnow all the way up to the eye of the hook. So it ends up looking like that, and it's as straight as possible, because I want this to swim as naturally as possible. Now, you'll see, and you saw, Chris caught a fish on a mini jig, and that was this one, the El Diablo mini jig, which is obviously the same color. So there's something to do with that color and those water conditions that is having them key on this bait, or both these baits, even though it's completely different presentations. Later on in the video, you may see someone catch a fish on what's called yellow and white. You'll hear it referred to as mac and cheese. That's just a nickname we gave it. But the color for Golden State is yellow and white. And yellow and white is a standard color. It's been around for years. Really proven color mix that the trout love, no matter what the water conditions, whether it's clear or murky. yellow and white is always a constant. So always make sure you have a yellow and white mini jig if you're going to fish mini jigs, because it just seems to work everywhere, whether you're down here or the Sierras. Now, additionally, I'm going to be fishing some minnows on a 16th ball head, and I'll show you how I hook those on. And it's very similar to the drop shot. And what I do, same thing. I want the hook to come out the back, so I slide the hook into the uppermost portion of the minnow, go about halfway around the hook like that, around the bend, and then I push the point through the back so it's straight as possible, and then push it up to the lead head so it looks something like this. Very similar to how I hooked the double drop shot, if not identical. But that's literally how it's done, and that's how these baits are put together, and they seem to be working out. We're just going to see which one comes out on top at the end of this video. All right, one thing to add is I had a underwater camera out there while we were fishing, and it picked up some really interesting footage, and I think we can learn a little something from it, so let's take a look. All right, guys, see what we got here. Oh, first thing, so we've got a few gizzard shad cruising by. Bunches of those things in the waterways there. They come out of the riverbed. You see something there's way out in the background. Oh, here's a big old common carp. Lots of them carp too. I've caught some real big ones. Oh, big old tilapia. Lots of fish to bite. Definitely a variety. Here we go. What's that coming out? Oh, big old largemouth. Real good size. Oh, and here's another one. So they're kind of schooled up. Well, at least these two are hanging out. Maybe they're looking for a place to spawn in the spring, checking property values and whatnot. Here we go. Oh, here's a trout up there on the left. About a 1 to 2 pounder. Something else went by in the show. Here's another trout, another good sized trout. Another trout cruising by. So there's a lot of trout in the area. Oh, here's a big old bass. He really seems interested in the camera. I think it's the electromagnetic field these cameras put off. Just a GoPro under here attracts them, probably is what it is. Looks like, what is this? Oh, another trout coming by. Looked like he was looking at the camera. So what else we got? Oh, some more gizzard shad. Bunches and bunches of those things. And this is the reason why the mud hole can be tough, is because there's so many shad in the water, and especially the small ones. The trout just start gobbling. Oh, there's a real good sized trout. The trout just end up feeding on those, and something else. I think those are trout. Oh, that's a real big trout. That might be toad level. That's a real good sized trout, just lurking out there. All right, as you can see in that underwater footage, real important. One, there's a lot of fish in the water, all kinds of fish. So that's not a problem. The trick is catching them. But the biggest thing to key in on is the clearest part of the water. And as you can see in that video, the very bottom. So when the water's murky, as it is typically at Santa Ana River Lakes, you want to work a lot of baits towards the bottom, because your feeding fish are going to be down there. All those fish you saw, they're only a few inches, maybe a foot off the bottom, and those are the ones that are typically going to be looking for food. So always remember that. Anytime you're in murky water, always get baits close to the bottom, especially if you're not getting bit. Now with that, as you noticed in the video, everyone's caught fish except me and Art.
Oh, what a loser! Good.
We're still on the hunt, so we're gonna do what we can and see if we can take some of the information that we learned and hopefully start to get on some fish. So let's see how we do.
El Diablo.
Very sexy, yeah.
Oh, pretty fish. Chunky bro. Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
Take it easy.
All right, going back to a jig. Hey, chunky one too. Rock. Chunky bro. Got him way out there. Yeah. One of the Mount Lawson beauties. There we go. Good looking fish.
All right, ladies and gents, there you have it. Good times out of Santa Ana River Lakes. It's always a good time there. Well, as long as the fish are biting, of course. But you know what was on top today? And really, it was both. The drop shot was clearly king in the morning. But the afternoon, we were getting them on mini jigs and minnows. So two completely different presentation styles, especially for that murky water. But what are you going to do? Fish are fish. And one thing to always remember, and I try to tell this to as many people that like going to Santa Ana as I can reach, is stay to the end. I didn't catch my first fish probably till 2 o'clock. And then I ended up getting 3. So in Art, I think he ended up getting 2 or 3 as well. But always stay to the end because they start biting later in the afternoon, and the bite even changed. We weren't getting on drop shot; we were getting on the mini jigs and the minnows. So always keep that in mind. Always try different things. Just because you were catching them on one thing earlier doesn't mean that that's going to continue throughout even the same day. They may switch up colors. I've seen them switch colors at all different lakes within minutes. They get tired of a color, you got to switch to something else, and you start catching again. So always be flexible and always try different things until you start getting bit again. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I got a real good question from a subscriber, and he was wondering about the phrase you hear, "match the hatch," and why you know, guys will say, hey, match the hatch and fish, you should fish natural looking colors, and then they end up catching fish on real bright colors like pinks and reds and that kind of thing. And the best way I can describe it is match the hatch is something really more geared towards fly fishermen. When different flies and bugs hatch at different times of the year, that's usually what the fish will be feeding on. So you want to get something that imitates that. For us, conventional fishermen, fishing drop shots and mini jigs, everything depends on what water you're fishing and the time of day and the weather conditions. Because as you saw in the underwater footage here, all the water had a yellow tint to it. You go to a lake like Parado, might have a green tint to it. You go to the Sierras, it's very clear, but there's still going to be a color tint. Also, colors change at different depths of water. So the deeper, say in El Diablo, which is red and black, once it goes down, say 10 or 15 feet, it may look green. I don't know how it looks to the fish. So, or if it's cloudy or sunny, that will change the color of a presentation underwater. So that's why you need to have a variety of colors, because you just don't know how that's going to look to a fish underwater at whatever lake, river, stream, creek, whatever you're fishing at a certain time of day, during a rainstorm, during sunny conditions, and I can go on and on. But it's really that simple. As you know, there's certain lakes where fish favor certain colors, right? So start with that, but then the fish may have other plans in mind. So like I said earlier, just be flexible and have a wide variety of different colors, so you have the best chance of figuring out what they're biting on that particular day or even hour. So with that big event coming up, Bart Hall is coming back around and earlier this year, which is a good thing. So in about 2 weeks, I think it starts on January 25th. Head on out there. I'll be out there with Esteban and all the Golden State fishing crew. We have a booth. We'll be selling baits. We'll also be doing presentations on, I believe it's the Mammoth Lake stage, every day out there. And we'll be covering double drop shot, mini jigs, and the katana rods. So make sure you stop by, say hi, and stick around for the presentation. We're really working on putting together a really good presentation for you guys and really get to the brass tacks and the real basics of all these techniques and how to be more successful with them. Additionally, make sure you take a minute to check out Max Fish Reports. He's on Facebook or Instagram. He puts out a lot of great information on where all the plants are happening all over Southern California, really. If anything comes across his desk that's new, he will go live and give out that information as soon as he gets it. So very, very good resource, so make sure you check him out. And if you're interested in any of the baits or the other fine products I use on this channel, there will be a QR code right up here. Just click on that. It'll take you to a link tree, which then will have sites, whether it's to the katana rods, the Golden State fishing baits, or the WaterLand sunglasses. There's also discount codes in there and instructions on either the code or some of them you just click on, use that website, and you can get up to 15% off of your purchase if you decide to buy any of that good stuff. So take a look at it. As always, remember to like and subscribe. If you ever have questions or comments, leave it here or on my Instagram at Seaspanker Outdoors. And until next time, hope to see you guys out there, and tight lines.